So Ali, there are a lot of products in the Siseico range, and obviously the shower heads are a big part of this. Now there are three main shower heads. Perhaps we can look at the Elite shower head, yes. And you can tell me a little bit about what's different with the Siseico shower heads, what it does for you, and how it works.
Sure. Well, the Elite is our top-end shower head from the Siseico range. Inside, they have some amazing patented technologies, and I can show you quickly here. The main feature here is the ceramics, the patented ceramics. So the ceramics have a way of changing the quality of the residual chlorine so that it doesn't itch, it doesn't dry your skin, etc. And you'll also find that you will not smell it. Normally, chlorine can be quite smelly, so it has an effect in that way. The other thing that the ceramics do is they have an antibacterial quality. So just to protect from some pathogens, it is not a disinfection system, but it helps with pathogens reduction. And the other thing that it does, it creates a water which is much more hydrating. Tap water can be very dry, it can dry your skin. A lot of people say to me that they have to put creams and all sorts of things after that. So we find, and the customer feedback we're getting is that their skin is more hydrated, they don't have to, they're not itchy. People who have skin complaints like, I don't know, eczema, they found that using these shower heads, their symptoms are relieved. The other thing on the top here, this shower head has 3 settings. So you can have a normal setting, you can have a massage setting for your achy muscles, etc. And you can have a mist, so it produces a really fine mist. So the ceramics create something called far infrared, which is a little difficult to explain, but all ceramics, a number of ceramics in the world produce far infrared rays. You will find that even in ancient Egypt, they preserve things in clay pots. There was something that the ancients knew that it would preserve, it would have a benefit in it. Far infrared rays are like light rays. So when the water touches the ceramics, it creates this far infrared ray, which turns this into heat energy. So when the heat energy comes into your body, it goes into a deep level to increase your oxidation or uptake of oxygen. It helps to improve your metabolism. It helps to improve your circulation. So there are a number of benefits, and people say, and again, these are independent studies. I'm not saying that there's independent studies to show that the far infrared also helps to reduce toxins in your body because of the heat that is generated, and it goes into a much deeper level than just surface heat.
So as the water passes through this bed of beads here,
yes.
It's according to the literature, it's activated, and what you're talking about here is the far infrared and the effects of the ceramic on the water.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Also, the mist aspect here produces something called negative ions. And again, I'm talking about features. We need to relate to benefits to clients, why they should buy these. So negative ions are when you go to the beach or when you go to a really nice mountain, waterfall, lake. The air there is very relaxing. There's something about it. People, why do they go for walks in the mountains or go to the beach for relaxation? There's something that nature does that creates negative ions. So these shower heads produce a high level of negative ions which counteract modern living. Pollution, light pollution, we use laptops, electronic devices, all these emit positive ions. And in the past we may not have needed so much negative ions because we didn't have these electronic gadgets in the houses and electricity and everything. But modern living is creating a lot of positive ions which have to be counteracted. And to give you an example, when you walk in the countryside, you'll get about 2,000 negative ions per cubic centimeter. In a city, it's going to be more like 100, so very little. However, there were tests carried out at Niagara Falls, and it creates a big mist.
Yeah.
So Niagara Falls, they measured 100,000 negative ions per cubic centimeter. Maybe one of the reasons why it's a very popular tourist attraction, it's an amazing place to be. However, the Elite shower head produces 160,000 negative ions.
So even more than Niagara Falls?
Even more than Niagara Falls.
Wow. So I've, obviously as part of preparing for this, I've spoken to a number of people who've used these shower heads.
Yes.
And one of the key factors that they talk about as well is the washing experience.
Absolutely.
Now, I don't have any hair, so I can't comment on hair. But I know two of the people I've spoken to have said that they've noticed almost from the first time they use it a difference with their hair.
Yes. So what happens was the ceramic beads do something to the water. Tap water has a different structure. You know, it's chemically treated and so on. There's a different structure. The ceramics makes the structure even more hydrating. Technical word is called microclustering, but this is what is explained. So basically the water is more hydrating, and therefore it has what is called activated water, so the surface tension of the water changes. And the surface tension has a higher ability to emulsify oil. So that means if we've got dirt and oil in our skin, tap water will have a certain amount that it can clean without using soap and detergents. Whereas the ceramics increase it, almost double it. So that means technically you could have a shower without soap, possibly, and have a much better experience than just tap water. And again, that's all sustainable, environmental. And what we love about this is that there are no replacement cartridges. You know, once you buy, it's a one-off purchase, you don't have to replace. And I always look at it, if I buy something, I'd rather not have to replace it. It's a bit like buying a car and having to replace the engine every time, because that's what the other products have. Again, feedback is people feel that the water is softer. I'm not saying that you're removing like a saltwater softener, but they feel that the water is softer, it's more gentle on their skin, hair becomes shiny, their skin starts to feel much better. We need good water living in the city or elsewhere. We don't have the luxury to live, you know, somewhere in Fiji by the beach and have this experience every day. But this is something that I really like. You know, there's no consumables, so no replacement parts, no electricity, no chemicals, no salts, and you use the minerals and the showerhead as long as you can, rather than having to replace regularly.
So instead of polluting the environment with salts or other chemicals, you're actually helping the environment and your own body as well.
Yeah, and through this experience, not only do you feel good with the shower experience, you also feel good that you're doing something, your bit, for the environment.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you.